Hey there folks, my name is Luke. Welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. There's a few points to go over. First, this is a military surplus overnight adventure. Second, there are multiple warnings out for this area. Flood warning, and that's because of heavy rain that's supposed to come in this afternoon and tonight. Also, winter storm warning. This is a winter storm overnight adventure. Welcome to Lone Wolf Mountain. Let's find our spot for the night. This trip is going to be nasty. Very, very nasty. Rain starts in a couple of hours. Already, it's somewhat cold, around 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Just a few degrees away from freezing. Later on this afternoon, rain changes over to freezing rain. Possibly to sleet, possibly to snow. If it stays all freezing rain, it will be a major, significant storm. If it changes over to sleet, ice, a couple of inches. If it changes over to snow, who the heck knows how much we will get. Now, right now, I am simply walking around the property. I am looking for essentially the perfect spot. I'd like to have some trees, but because of the potential of severe icing, being inside the forest is a bad idea. Even the healthiest of tree will come down with enough ice on it. So we really can't be too deep into the forest. And with that being the case, being right on the edge could be the perfect spot. This spot right here looks pretty darn good to me. Right on the edge of the forest. The trees look pretty good, nothing too large, so even if there is some breakage, I should be okay. This is the first winter storm of the season, and I cannot freaking wait. Cannot freaking wait. Step number one, I gotta clear all this up. So I'm going to grab a forest rake, which is simply a stick, clean it up. When it comes to clearing up your campsite like this is a very important step, especially in the fall when you have ticks still running around. Getting this material out of here is important. Also, you need to be able to see the landscape. If there are any depressions here that could potentially fill with water, you don't want to set your tent there. And by clearing the ground, that is the only way that you're going to be able to read the features of the land. Now folks, for this episode, I have all sorts of really good gear, all sorts of really cool military surplus. I'm not going to point out every single piece that I use here, but in the description box down below, you will find a full list. The one thing I do want to talk about is this pack. This is the ILBE Pack. You guys have seen this before. It's been a couple of years since I've used it in an overnight adventure. I have to say that I really do like this pack. I really appreciate its simpleness. It's a simple pack, a simple rucksack, and it's exactly what I like about military surplus. It doesn't feature tons and tons of pockets. It's not convoluted. It's very easy to use, and I like that. Sometimes simple is better. For this episode, I am going to use one of my favorite pieces of military surplus ever. That happens to be the Mountain Hardwear Hunker One tent. I've always liked this thing. You know, when it comes to military surplus tents, there aren't many good ones out there, really. This is one of them. Hard to find for sure, but you can still find these. Now, tonight I am doing things differently. No sleeping bag, no quilt, no blankets. Haha, yes. It is going to be an interesting test, that's for sure. It's going to be one of those tests where this is going to work out well, or I am in for a miserable night. Miserable night. So, we have cold weather parka, United States military, and the parka pants. In addition, I have the modular sleep system Bivy. Okay, well, with the tent set up, that's part one of my entire setup. I do have 2 tarps with me, which I'm going to set up over the tent and over here. This will give me a ton of dry living area because I may be stuck here for a couple of days in the rain, ice, and snow. So having some good protection is important. It's valuable. When it comes to knots, the one knot that I use the most in the outdoors is the slip knot. Simple, highly effective, and makes everything super, super speedy, especially with tarps. Master the slip knot, folks. It will make your life simple. Now, with this potentially being a heavy-duty freezing rain storm, you don't want to have your tent being covered, caked in a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch of ice. That is a great way to break the poles, to break your tent. That's why we have the tarps. Now, as you guys can see here, this tarp is slanted. That way, when it starts raining real heavy, it will run off onto the ground. It's not going to pull on top. Check this out. We have a nice opening right here for a fire. Then we have this huge tarp set up. And under here, I can cook, I can eat, I can stay dry, and I can store firewood. Now, I have a pretty good pile of firewood over there, enough to last me for a couple of days, a couple of fires. That's about the best that I could ask for, really. I have some logs here that I'm going to split. That'll give me some larger pieces. Now, this comes from a tree that fell on the property some time ago that I chopped up. Now, when using a hatchet and standing up, you have to be very careful. Control your swings. Control your power. I'm processing this wood. I'm using my hatchet to cut off all the wet bark. Processing this wood now is going to help me in the long run when it comes to getting my fire going and having a nice warm fire. Now, if I was staying here for a long period of time, I could take this and let it air dry, because this would make amazing fire starter tinder in the future. Now guys, check this out. Earthworm, gigantic, protein. Am I going to eat that right now? Hell no. It is time to sit down. It is time to eat. I'm starving. No more work. No more work before I get food. Once I get some food in me, then I can keep on working. Now, this is my MRE. This is a 24-hour emergency ration. And this is from Mission Specific Products. Beef stew with carrots and potatoes and some sort of pasta dish. Sounds interesting. This also contains oatmeal. We have some water inside of this, an energy bar, 2 main entrees. There's some white rice, 1 package of crackers, nut raisin mix, toasted corn nuts, tortillas, cookies, peanut butter, fruit mix, lemonade drink. There's some fruit punch, 2 deluxe accessory kit, not sure what that is, 3 flameless ration heaters, excellent, 1 toothbrush, and 1 fluoride toothpaste. Wow. Now that is an MRE. Beef stew and potatoes and carrots, that sounds awesome for tonight. Let's have the pasta thing. See guys, even with the temperatures into the mid-30s, ticks are still out there. And that is why you clean up your campsite. That is why you take the time and you do this, because you do not want Lyme disease. That guy right there has probably been on me for a couple of hours. They are very slow moving. Usually by the time that you notice them, they've been on there for a while. Now it's time to use our flameless heater to heat up our meal. A little bit of water goes a long way with these. Now, a Marine buddy of mine let me in on a little trick. If you take the meal and you slide it inside of the bag with the water, it gets hotter. Chris, thank you very much for the tip, good buddy. As you can see, it's doing what it is supposed to do. While we're waiting on lunch, let's have this energy bar thing. Check that thing out. It tastes like a biscuit. Kind of. It's a little bit sweeter. It's pretty good, actually. What I need to go with this is some coffee. All right, everybody, it is time to eat. Nice and warm. I was able to heat up the tortillas as well off of this one heater. All in all, this looks pretty good. Cannot complain. So here we go. Our pasta, tortillas, hot sauce, coffee. It's cold. It's not too terrible when you're running around working, but as soon as you stop, you really feel it. No joke. That is freaking awesome. I will definitely have to check out more of these MREs because that is fantastic. I mean, so far, everything that I've tried, well, 2 items, has been really good. But you can tell that a lot of thought went into this. So far, I'm impressed. Put the jacket on, contain some of this heat. I'll tell you what, you could tell that this system's beginning to move in. The humidity's going up, it's kind of getting damp, and you really feel it in your body. Not to mention that it's getting breezy now. Coffee time. Oh man, that feels good. Still nice and warm. I'm going to eat this, drink that. I'll bring you all back in just a minute. I saw something earlier when walking through. I wanted to come back and check. I will have to go fast because it is starting to rain. So down there, that's where I'm camping. And this is what I saw. Take a look at the tree here and the bark. You guys can see the shed. We are going to convert that into a cabin, but we'll talk about that later. This tree, look at that. Look at that deer rub. That is substantial. A spike didn't do this. A big, large deer did. Very mature, very good size, good rack of horns. That's impressive. I don't do too much hunting anymore. I used to when I was younger. I have nothing against hunting at all, as long as you're doing it for the right reasons. Playtime's over. Things are getting real. The rain is coming in. It's cold rain. 35 degrees and rain. That's a deadly combination right there. Heck, rain at 50 degrees is a combination for hypothermia. Whew. With trips like this, because of the rain factor, you have to be very, very careful. As much as I want to, even though I have rain gear, I really shouldn't be running around in the rain getting wet. Plus, this here, my Gore-tex jacket, is part of my sleep system. And that leads me to a tip. If you ever get cold while you're out camping, put on your rain gear. It will hold in some heat. You will stay much warmer. I am going to take some time here and begin chopping up some of this wood, make it a little bit smaller so it's easier for me to use and access. As a gigantic pile, it really is just more of a mess than anything else. You can have a gigantic pile of firewood that you think that's going to last you a very long time, but once you actually process it and see what you have, it's not much. The general rule of thumb is once you're done collecting firewood, double that amount. As you all can hear, it's raining pretty good. So it's been doing this for roughly the last hour or so. It's probably getting close to 5 o'clock. It's definitely getting dark. Tell you, I love this time of year and also hate it at the same time. Dark at 5 o'clock. So when you're out backpacking and camping, if you're by yourself, what do? You sit around the fire for how many hours? You go to bed, you read a book, what do? That is how it rolls here at Lone Wolf Mountain. 2 deer right over there. But I was just sitting here, just listening to the rain. Hear some movement, look down. 2 deer right outside of my tarp. You guys aren't scared at all, are you? Hi. How funny is that? I love it. I love it. This is paradise, that's for sure. The rain's picking up. Nothing is stirring. Nothing is making a peep other than those deer. No birds, nothing. No crows. Even that's kind of strange. Everything's hunkered down for the most part. I am just about out of water. But luckily, I have the tarp. Cheers, everybody, cheers. A little bit of dirt never hurt anybody. It's coming down pretty good, getting cold. Cold, damp, nasty, just the way I like it. It is time for some beef stew with potatoes, carrots, and peas. I'm going to make the rice as well, because why not? Alright, the heating element is sandwiched in between each one of those meals. Time to put some tint water inside of the package. Now you guys can see, everything's soaking wet. The fire is right on the line here. Staying dry. Dinner is pretty much ready. It's pretty much warmed up, ready to go. I tell you, this setup has worked out so incredibly well. The tent staying dry over there, good airflow coming through. The front is fully protected. That way when I'm sleeping tonight, I don't have to worry about condensation issues. Super, super important, especially in the fall and winter months. Also, whenever I go home, the cleanup process is going to be so much easier. So this is dinner. Some sort of beef stew, rice thing. Smells okay. Without even tasting it, I think I'm going to go ahead and add the hot sauce. You just can't go wrong with hot sauce. Cheers, everybody, cheers. It's not the best tasting thing in the whole world. I think I'm going to add the salt and pepper now. It's a little bit bland, even with the hot sauce. Take me to flavor country. Let's go. Yeah. Still just okay. Good enough to live on. Good enough to live on. Since this is a military surplus overnight adventure, we have to talk about military stuff. So let's talk about my daughter. She's in the Navy, graduated boot camp, basic. Maddie is in Pensacola, Florida, doing her A school. She will probably have to do C school afterwards. Then after that, sometime next year, she will have her first deployment. She loves the Navy. Absolutely loves it. She didn't even hate basic. She thought it was very hard, but it taught her a lot. She's definitely a new person. There's no doubt about that. Might as well answer a few questions from you all real quick here. Hugh says that his son wants to join me for an overnight trip. Anytime, buddy, anytime. If you could collaborate with any other bushcraft type YouTuber, who would it be? Honestly, guys, I really don't have time to watch YouTube. Full-time job, family, you all, filming, all that good stuff, that takes up all of my time. I get up around 4:30 every day. I turn in around 10:30. That's my life right there. Craig wants to know, when am I coming to Indiana? My friend, I was just there. I love your state. You guys have already seen that in part 2 of the cross-country trip for Madison's graduation. I love Indiana, except for Gary. Blech. Someone wants to say, did I give up on the gravel road adventures with a truck? No, I haven't. I just forgot about it, to be honest with you. Definitely need to do that again. Buck says, what type of hair product do you use? None. This is all natural, baby. I don't put any crap in it because I don't care. How is Susie doing? That comes from Chris. She is doing great. She's at home right now. The dog's snoring. Lucas is playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and she said that she was doing some knitting. Becky from the UK. Hey, how are you? Greg, how's it going, man? Lynn says that he has the ILBE Pack, just like I do. How do I rate that amongst other military surplus packs? Okay, it's not perfect, not by any means, but it's not the worst either. The biggest thing about that pack is, does it fit you? Because the pack is not adjustable for different torso lengths. So if you're short or super tall, the pack may not be a good fit for you. You really do have to be like right in the middle of being short and tall for that pack really to work. It's super simple. That's what I like about it. That's what makes it such a great pack. Well, dinner was pretty good. Now it's time for some corn nuts. What exactly is a corn nut? It's not bad. I guess after I finish my corn nuts, crawl inside the tent, call it a night. It will be interesting to see how my sleep system treats me tonight. Am I going to stay warm or am I going to freeze? All right, everybody, check out my pants. Check out those crazy pants. So I have my parka on, I have the pants on, I'm ready pretty much for the night, ready to kick back. I'm about to crawl into the bivvy and hopefully I stay warm. We shall see. If not, I'll be doing push-ups all night or sitting next to the fire. Both of those options sound pretty terrible. Push-ups all night or sitting next to a fire and feeding it all night. I've done both. Neither are fun. I'm squared away for the night. Let's see how this goes. I'll bring you all back if I wake up for some reason, if it turns to snow, sleet, and I notice. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the morning. Oh yeah. Good night, everybody. Alright guys, here's an update for you. It's a little bit after midnight. So far, so good. I have to say that I am a little bit cold. Comfortable, really.
but I can tell that by morning, by the coldest part of the morning, I probably will be a little bit chilled. So, yeah, that's how it goes. I could seal this tent up, but I really don't want to have to deal with lots of condensation, so we will see how it goes as the night goes on. It is icing outside right now, freezing rain. It will be interesting to see how much we get throughout the night. Okay, well, good night, everybody. Oh, it's probably around 1 o'clock in the morning, folks, and it switched over from freezing rain to sleet now. Not too bad, not too bad. So for now, I'm going to sleep. I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Oh, morning has come. It is 7 o'clock. And I have to be honest, I'm freezing. Absolutely freezing, miserable cold. Without a doubt, for this outfit and pants, 29 degrees, that is pushing it. That's the low end for comfort. I think if you're moving around, you're fine, but not sleeping in this. I mean, I've definitely been colder, there's no doubt about that, but interesting test. But I'm just about ready to get up and start a fire. I need to warm up. Oh, it's pretty. It is pretty. Everything's iced up this morning. There's icicles hanging off of my tarp. At some point in time, last night, it went from freezing rain to sleet. Before I went to sleep, it actually turned to snow for a little bit. And I guess it's back to this for now. Oh, what an icy mess that is. Luckily, my boots have stayed dry. I put these over the tops, keep snow out. They were too muddy to bring inside, and that's the only thing I could think of to do to keep the snow out of them with what I got. I'm not sure if you guys could see it or not, but what has happened is that a limb came down right on top of this tarp. That's how it goes sometimes, guys. That's how it goes. Here is the tent. As you can see, this one limb came down, fell on the tarp, and from there it has filled with water. But this tarp has protected that tent. That is absolutely awesome. This tarp is looking pretty good. Lots and lots of ice on it. As you can see, it's sagging down. Beautiful forest right now. It is coming down pretty good at the moment. And quite a few branches are beginning to fall out of the trees. You know, the truth is, staying inside of the forest is probably not the smartest thing to do. Getting out of here would probably be best. Without a doubt, this was more of an ice storm than, say, a sleet or snowstorm. What they were predicting was more of a sleet storm. That's why I picked right here on the edge. At least all of my firewood is dry. I can get a fire going. I'm going to. I need to take care of this tarp and get the ice off so this thing can kind of rebound a little bit.
I was able to get one side of this tarp up. There's probably a 1/4 inch of ice out there, maybe a little bit more. Whew. It is miserable, miserable. Now, my plan is to get the fire going, warm up a little bit, maybe get some coffee, and then get out of here one way or another. Staying right here is not a safe bet. There's too many limbs coming down, and this ice is continuing to get thicker and thicker. Let's get the fire going. Hopefully we'll have a good fire here in just a minute. That is going to be so nice because it is cold. It's a cold morning. This moisture is just going into my hands. Plus my feet still frozen from last night. I still have my parka on. That's helping quite a bit. I tell you what, everyone, processing this wood made this trip possible. If I did not do this yesterday, this would not be easy today. Right now, I just have this big pile of perfectly sized pieces. I can grab what I need, put it on. Huge, huge benefit. So my coffee pretty much ready. Fire feels good. It's pouring at the moment. I'm definitely more comfortable now than I was last night. Last night was pretty cold. That was an interesting test with this level 7 cold wear. I think for like the soldier who's walking, who's on patrol, standing guard, for the hunter and so on, perfect. But for sleeping in, not really. You still need your sleeping bag. As for what the plan is today, I have no idea. You know, the truth is, it's too nasty to film in, really. I am in for one miserable morning. Coffee time. Cheers, everybody, cheers. That is good. Now, there's a temperature change taking place here. I don't know if it's warming up or if it's getting colder, but it's getting foggy. Something is shifting. Now we watch the trees. That is going to tell us what it's doing out there. If we see the ice beginning to break up, it's warmer. If it's getting thicker, of course, it's getting colder. Since we are stuck here, might as well answer a couple of questions. Hearing something break. Nothing I can do about it right now. Thomas wants to know, have I ever had any close calls? Oh yeah, plenty of those. You guys remember the overnight adventure where the tree fell right next to where I was? That was a close call. Has there ever been an instance where you regretted it? I mean, I do plenty of dumb things that I regret sometimes, but no. I tend not to regret the things that I've done. People make mistakes, move on. The most important thing is learn from it. If you can't learn from a mistake, well, good luck to you. Let's see, Scott wants to know if I carry a knife in public. Yes, I do. I always have this bad boy. I did a review on it. I can't remember what the name of it is. I deal with so many products that I can't keep track of all of the names. Luke, do you hike armed or unarmed? I do have my carry and conceal permit, and I carry just depending on where I'm heading to. This is really nice. It really is. Being out in the rain, completely dry with my pals, freezing rain, coffee. Life is good. So many questions, guys. There was one in particular, though.
I wanted to find. Okay, Adam. He wants to know, how do you stay so positive? In general, that is the way that I live my life. I try to be as positive as possible. I don't want no bullshit. I don't want no drama. I refuse to have it. I'm not going to have it in my life. I'm not going to have it on the channel. I have learned, and I think I've talked about this before in the past, but anytime that I'm negative, I generally make things harder on myself. And with a positive attitude, I can generally get things done right. And I've noticed that I can generally get my way with a good attitude. You treat people a certain way, they treat you back a certain way. You could be an asshole, and it's going to blow up in your face. So yeah, I try to stay positive. Of course, I'm human though. I do get in bad moods. We can talk to Susan about this one day. I'm sure she would have some interesting stories to tell. When I was young, I was very intense. Very, very intense. Luckily, I let that go away. I've grown up some. Gosh, guys, this is good. Really, really good. Look at that icy mess out there, huh? Tam says that it's raining here every day, and it's hard to go for a hike. You know, my friend, put on your rain gear and just go out and do it. Rain pants, jacket, you'll love it. Bring some extra clothes, put them in the car. Just bring a change of clothes, you will have a blast. I love hiking in the rain. John wants to know, what is the best pair of winter socks for camping? Go with merino wool and go for a heavy weight. Super important. Get those nice, good, thick, warm socks. Brand? I don't know, whatever you want. There's plenty of good brands out there. Skylar wants to know, for winter camping, do you bring sleep clothes or do you sleep in your hiking garb? Generally, I do not sleep in the clothes that I'm wearing. So even in the wintertime, if I hop inside the tent, I will take off at least my pants. I usually keep my shirt on, actually. But I'll put on like a pair of tights. And you can get all sorts of different tights. You know, lightweight, heavyweight, fleece, and so on. What items that I'm okay with as far as luxury goes when it comes to weight? Oftentimes, I will bring my iPad. In my daily life, I stay so busy, I never get to watch movies and TV and stuff like that. So on occasion, I will bring my iPad, I'll read a book, I'll watch a movie. For this trip here, I actually had a couple of movies on my phone. Let's see, I watched Deliverance. Alright, one last question in regards to survival, bugging out, and your go bag. Now, I get asked about this all the time. And this has been a topic of conversation which I've had with other people, and that I've actually wanted to do at least one video on. Because when it comes to bugging out, the idea is so romanticized in many, many ways by many different people, some YouTubers and so on, that a lot of people think they could pack this gigantic backpack and that they're going to be able to head off into the woods and bug out, get out of town, get out of Dodge. And that is simply not how it is going to work. For 99.9% of people, when the really hits the fan, you're not going to be able to... Something big just came down. When the hits the fan for real, everybody's going to be getting out of Dodge. And what are they going to do? They are going to go through their supplies, and then they're going to begin looking for more. They'll find it in houses, stores, and on people just like yourselves. So you really have to think long and hard about bugging out. Where on earth are you going to go? You have to have a very good plan. The plan is key, and you have to have the supplies to make your plan possible. So let's say you have your plan. Does your gear loadout make sense? Is it too heavy? If your pack weighs 70 pounds, 100 pounds, you're not going far. You'll get hurt in no time. It is simply how it is. Because the body breaks down, it can only take so much, and that is true when it comes to bugging out and carrying a gigantic backpack. For now, I will leave you all with those thoughts. Make sure to comment down below, share your thoughts about everything. I'm always curious to hear what other people think. I need to build up this fire, because I'm getting cold again. Fire feels good, the warm coffee. The tarp is reflecting back the heat.
Oh yeah, that's not bad. Now when it comes to this adventure, it is pretty much over, everybody. There's only so much talking that I could do before you turn off the video, so. It actually looks like it's starting to lighten up right now. This might be my opportunity. Pack up. I mean, I'm about to get seriously wet. We'll put on my Gore-tex bottoms. This is a Gore-tex military jacket. I should be okay, but you know how that goes. Now before I say goodbye, there's one more point I want to make about clearing the ground like I've done here. That lets you know, like I mentioned yesterday, or in this video earlier, where the depressions are. So you can set your fire up on top of a hump and not in the depression. That way, if it's raining like it is now, your fire will stay dry, the water will go around it. Just like I've done here. You can see the water, fire on a hump, nice and dry, water going around it. That is not too bad, not too bad. Just like this adventure, everybody. It's been a ton of fun. Thank you all so much for joining me for this trip. On to the next. Oh yeah. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit the like button. If you dislike it, hit the like button. Until next time, everyone take care, strength and honor. Support the channel through Patreon if you like what you see here. Take care, everybody. See ya.